Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to Starbucks. I'm your host, Anthony DiNardo. With me, we have Jim Rosati. Jim, happy 2024.
Happy 2024. I mean, time flies.
When you're having fun. And we've had
Time
a
flies when you're
joyous
having fun.
2023.
Yeah, I mean, DiNardo, I remember 2023 like it
All
was
right,
yesterday.
we're done with this now. We're going to put this behind us now, Jim, correct? We're going to move forward.
I feel like we haven't done this all year.
I hate you. But for real, happy 2024. We are 9 hours
Happy New
into
Year.
the brand new year and already doing a show on the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Hey, when you have this much stuff happening this offseason, you got to hop on and talk about it on a holiday.
For sure. And you know how Ben Sherrington operates. Things always happen on a holiday, and that's why we're here. Another emergency
We'll probably have an emergency podcast later today.
Yeah, well, this is it. We have an emergency podcast right now. We don't. We don't. That week, that was a fun, interesting week, but I feel like that's over with.
Well, I mean, there should at least be a couple more emergency podcasts before the end of the year.
There should
be.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
How you feeling this morning, by the way?
I feel great.
You look actually pretty good.
Yeah, went to bed around 1 o'clock. I didn't party too hard. Like,
did I just give you your first compliment of 2024?
Yeah, I think so. You yeah, but I had maybe 2, adult beverages last night. 3 if you count, like the champagne at midnight, but
good for you.
Yeah, went over to a buddy's house. Little small gathering. It was fun. Yeah. How about you?
Nice. I had a few, actually, just like you. My family's in town, so spent the evening here. I still want to be in bed, though. I'll admit to that. I definitely want to be in bed.
I can tell you want to be in bed. You need some coffee.
I need some Starbucks without the K.
Yep. Everybody does.
Yeah. But either way, so what do we have in store for us today, Jim?
So I mean, I guess we can kind of talk a little bit about like what's happened over the last week. But then also, we asked some of our favorite people on Twitter,
even the ones we don't like, we asked them.
Yeah, the New Year's resolutions of some Pittsburgh Pirates, maybe Pittsburgh Pirates adjacent people if they're a team owner maybe or a general manager. So we'll get to some of those. Should be a fun, lighthearted show. Kick off the new year. Like I said, nothing too crazy this week. I think the only thing really to talk about Pirates related is, we kind of keep. I think we still all are in agreement that the Pirates need some more starting pitching help, and that list keeps dwindling down among available players. So just this past week, the Cincinnati Reds, divisional opponent, they signed Frankie Montas to a 1-year, $16 million deal, which is about double what people were expecting him to get. So pretty incredible there. There was some discourse, I think, on Twitter about, whether or not this is an overpay or not. And I think you hit the nail on the head. You tweeted out saying, like, if you just say that every starting pitching signing is an overpay, then it's probably not. Like, that's just what it costs now. And sometimes just to get what you want, you may need to quote unquote overpay what you think, right? So like you can either go out there and you can spend what it costs to get these guys, or you can just not have them. Right. Like, those are your choices. Like, you can either go out there and sign the pitchers that you want, and it may cost you more than what you think, or you can just not get those players. And if you don't get those players, then you're left with the rotation that looks like what the Pirates are currently sitting on.
Seriously, like from day one. Think about when Lance Lynn and Kyle Gibson signed with the Cardinals, and everyone's like, for that amount, like we'll pass on them. And if you keep saying, well, that's too much, we'll pass, that's too much, we'll pass, then you're left with nothing. You're left with nothing. No, I take it back. You're left with Marco Gonzalez, who everyone's saying we will pay for you to have him. Now, granted, like we talked, like you like that in the vacuum, right? For $3 million, Marco Gonzalez, there's some upside, it's cheap, whatever. But like you can't have a rotation Marco Gonzalez is, right? Like that's fine to have there. Get some other guys to stabilize this, make it better. And those are the guys that are falling off right now, going for 15 million around-ish, you know? And the more and more
Yeah.
there go, the less and less there are. And if you keep saying that, well, for that much money, I don't want him, well, then you're left with nothing. Again, like that's just the price of business. That's the going rate for starting pitching. If you want it, you gotta pay for it. And if you don't want it, then you don't get it. You just don't get it. And if you're trying to compete and you're not getting starting pitching and you only had one pitcher going into this season, then you're just simply not trying to compete also. And I guess my point too on that is why the focus around payroll matters, right? Because you can still make trades and such. And it just matters because it's just simply money. Like you worked so damn hard these 5 years to acquire assets, to like build up your farm and to make those either players or trade capital in the future, right? Well, like the price of trade capital is only going up too. Like if that pitcher, Frankie Montas, costs $16 million, do you think the Marlins or anyone kicking back and saying, well, you know what? We'll cut you a deal on our guys. No. Well, again, hey, the price of your prospect capital just went up too, because this is what the price of pitching is. So we're reevaluating our assets. They're worth more.
Yeah, that's a good angle there that, not really something that I had thought about is, yeah, like if you feel like this free agency market is too expensive for you and you want to go out there and acquire somebody via a trade. Well, if these free agency signings are raising the cost of starting pitching, that means it's raising the trade value of people too. And you see kind of what the Braves did, kind of just recapping last week a little bit. The Braves, quote unquote, overpaid for Chris Sale, right? Vaughn Grissom for Chris Sale straight up, probably a quote unquote overpay. But you know what? The Braves felt like they needed some extra starting pitching. They don't necessarily need Vaughn Grissom. That lineup is ridiculous. So sometimes you just, if that's what it's going to cost to get what you want, you can either pay for it or you can't. Like that
Right.
Those are the two choices. And whether it's a free agency signing or if it's a trade, the more and more these free agents make, the higher and higher it's going to cost to acquire somebody via trade. That's a good point.
And think about that again. Like we just said, like this is the price of things. If you look at that Chris Sale trade in a vacuum, you say, well, I'm not paying the cost of that. The Braves simply said, well, it costs more. This is probably going to be an overpay, but we're getting something we need, and we're giving something away that we can afford to lose. Like that's what the Braves have been able to do. They've been able to build up a farm system. They've been able to get good players. They've been able to do all this so that way they can afford to expense some of their prospect capital, right? And not do money. I mean, they spend money, but they also make a trade like that. They can give up a Vaughn Grissom for Chris Sale, knowing that they're overpaying because they got what they want. They got the guy that's going to help them in October. That's what they have. And if it costs them Vaughn Grissom, it's tough pill to swallow, but like that's what it takes. And we can afford to do that because we have a great middle infield as it is. We have a great team as it is. Like I jokingly said, well, I mean, great. I mean, but still, I mean, come on, Jim, that lineup, like, okay.
Oh, insane. Yeah.
So anyways.
Yeah, so I mean those are the two moves from earlier in the weekend, and then also Red Sox signed Lucas Giolito, so another starting pitching target who probably another guy in that price range that the Pirates could reach, like the top of their price range. You would imagine he gets a 2-year, $38.5 million deal from the Red Sox. So these starting pitchers, these kind of second tier starting pitchers that you hope the Pirates could go out there and get one of them. They just keep going to other teams. Yariel Lopez, the Cuban pitcher who pitched in Japan last year, he seems to be kind of getting down to his final few teams. The Pirates are one of them. There was also a report last week that the Blue Jays have quote unquote taken the lead in the Yariel Rodriguez sweepstakes. I'm not going to pretend like I know a whole lot about Yariel Rodriguez. Saw him a little bit, saw him for like 6 innings in the World Baseball Classic. So that's like the only Yariel Lopez experience that I have watching him. But the fact that he there's obviously some major league interest there. There's teams who think that he can start. The Pirates are one of those teams who think that they can start. I'm all for going after guys who can make this team better. And if Yariel Lopez can make this team better, then I'm all for that. But right now, I would imagine that we hear some sort of decision from him here soon, because talks seem to be heating up there. And I guess it's nice that the Pirates are at least mentioned. Like, this is the first. He's really the only free agent that we've seen so far where multiple teams are involved, and the Pirates are one of them.
I just want to point something out. Only because you would correct me in a second, and I'm always
Yariel Rodriguez. Did I say Yariel Lopez?
You've been saying Lopez. I'm like, isn't it Rodriguez? I don't know why I said myself Lopez. Too. I'm like, because I could simply be wrong. Not the first time ever.
Yariel Rodriguez. I don't know where I got Lopez was, because here's the thing. I'm also looking at a screen right now, and it says Yariel Rodriguez. So it could just be, I just haven't had enough coffee yet. Let's just blame it on that.
Your first mistake for 2024. A lot of firsts on the show.
Yeah. First mistake. Sorry, guys. Yariel Rodriguez.
But at any rate, yeah, and we talked about him to a little bit of an extent, right? And not so much like him personally and all his attributes, but like the idea of adding him and what it could mean. But you're right, and that's one of the things. It's like that gives the Pirates potentially an opportunity to get a starting pitcher who could be of decent quality, maybe on the cheaper side, right? Than like these other guys. Again, that's the risk and the reward. He could also just be a bullpen guy, and you're paying $9-10 million for a guy in the bullpen. But the hope is that he actually could even be better than some of these mid-tier guys that you're looking at for $15 million, right? But again, if it's the Blue Jays in the lead and he doesn't go to the Pirates, then that's another one missed. And that's just like what you're finding. And like I understand, like it's still early. It's been the talk. And it's like it's now January 1st, 2024. And I know there's still free agents out there, but like they just keep dwindling away. Like, are you going to be left with just, and I say this facetiously because I would love him, but you're going to be left with just Marcus Stroman, and he's probably telling you no. So
yeah, I mean, there are definitely still options
for him either.
Yeah, there are definitely still options out there. It's just the list is getting smaller.
Right. So, at any rate, seeing those teams go. Oh, another thing I want to bring up too, just talking about also, because we're talking about prospect capital, this and that, and it's like, that's the beauty of having a really good farm system. Like we talked about the Reds for a little bit with Cease, and a lot again. Like they're even apologizing, like if that's the cost for the Reds, like let them do it. They'll let them clear their farm system out. You know what? It's just prospects. And if you have a really good farm system and you build a really good farm system, you can do things like that. And that's why I want to transfer over here. Look at the Padres. Do you remember how many prospects those Padres traded to get all those players? And everyone talked about all these prospects. And now you look at the top 100, and there's 6 guys there. And there's 2 guys in the top 10, Jim, from the Padres. Like they dealt all those guys, acquired all those players, and they have a good farm system again. I thought that couldn't be done.
Yeah.
It's just impossible, right? Like if you just keep building it, you can have it.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think you're looking at these top prospects right now, like teams who are just good at scouting and developing. It doesn't matter. Like they're just always going to be good. There's just like the Dodgers are always going to have a top farm system. The Cardinals aren't necessarily going to have a top farm system, but they're going to call up some random 27-year-old named Joseph Morris, 26th round pick from 1998, and he's gonna like have like a 900 OPS, right? So like there's just teams like that. They're just well-run teams, like well-oiled machines, and their development of talent is just really strong year in and year out, no matter who they have. And the Padres, like you mentioned, they traded so many prospects over the last 2 years. And here they are. They've got what number, depending on what list you look at, number 2 or 3 prospect in baseball right now,
Right.
plus a bunch of others kind of in that top 100. So yeah, it's you shouldn't be afraid to trade your prospects, especially if you have confidence in yourself that you can develop players.
But again, that's key. Developing.
Yep.
That's huge, especially for a small market team. So I prayed. There was a Joseph Morse. I was like, man, that'd be great if like a Joseph Morris, a Joe Morris was in
Joseph
MLB.
Morris, 2024 rookie of the year.
He was a Red though too.
I
got kind of excited. I was like, oh, Red, was he a Cardinal? No, he was a Red though.
Yeah. Well,
anyways. So is that pretty much our wrap up right now for baseball?
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
So we wanted to have a little fun today, like you said. It's the new year. Again, there's not a whole lot to talk about. Let's talk about resolutions. Let's give some Pirates some resolutions.
Let's talk about resolutions. And before we get to the resolutions, probably a good time to fit this in. So just letting you all know, today's show is sponsored by Chris Gates Fitness. Chris is a friend of the show. He's an online fitness coach from Pittsburgh. In addition to being a massive Pittsburgh sports fan, he works with people all over town and all over the world to build muscle, burn fat, and improve their health and fitness. Chris is running a massive sale for one-on-one online fitness coaching on January 3rd. That's Wednesday. So if you're looking to make a change in 2024 with your diet, exercise routine, or establishing healthier habits, now is a great time to sign up with Chris. When you work with him, you get a fully personalized training program, nutritional strategy, and one-on-one support every single step of the way to achieve your goals. And the great thing about online coaching is you can do it on your own time from anywhere in the world and get even more support than a traditional personal training session in the gym. Again, starting on January 3rd, you can get 75% off your first month of coaching. Just make sure you mention North Shore 9 when you apply. Personally, myself, I've been working with Chris for a while now. He's helped me out immensely. Really started kind of taking my health seriously last year. And thanks to Chris's help, was able to lose 40 pounds last year. So I'm looking forward to continuing working with Chris this next year. He's been great. So if all that sounds good to you, head over to chrisgatesfitness.com/coaching. Again, that's chrisgatesfitness.com/coaching to learn more and submit your application. After you apply, Chris will reach out to you directly to talk more about your goals and what a program might look for you. One more time, that's January 3rd. You can get 75% off your first month of one-on-one online fitness coaching. Mention North Shore 9 when you apply. Visit chrisgatesfitness.com/coaching to learn more, and we'll have the link in the description of the show.
There you have it. It's definitely that time of the year. Speaking of resolutions, right?
Yeah,
everyone wants to get back in the gym, get there on their weight back in track, and there you go, Chris Gates.
Yeah. All right, so let's get to these. There were some good ones. There were a lot of we asked everybody on the Twitter machine to name a Pirate and what their New Year's resolution should be. So yeah, got quite a few responses last night. Where do you want to start?
Let's do this.
We got some Bob Nutting ones. We want to start with Bob Nutting.
I was gonna say, like, let's get the typical, like the ones you'd expect out the way, which starts with Bob Nutting, right?
Yep.
Like Mike in Illinois, Bob Nutting, spend money.
We've got Tyler Reeder, Bob Nutting, sell the team. Sell the team,
Bob.
Bob Nutting, spend more money on free. This is from Clemente Wall 21. Bob Nutting, spend some more on free agency because Rowdy Tellez can't play first, Edward Alvarez can't play right, and Keller can't pitch every day.
I think he's trying to show us, like, I'll prove that they can. like
Yeah, right.
this is
You're
like a social experiment right now. I feel like with Bob Nutting, he's like, and Ben Sherrington.
Yeah. Jack Micah, Bob Nutting, invest in the team or sell. So yeah, we've got some people who are a little upset about Bob Nutting, and I think that's warranted. And so they want him to definitely change his mindset and his behavior for 2024.
Now, mind you,
Yeah.
Bob Nutting has also said that he's changed his mindset, right? He's told us this before that he's learned. He's learned from the past. When the time comes, he will invest. So, what a better time to start doing it than day one of 2024?
Yeah. No, I'm with you 100%. I will say this. I'm gonna give Bob Nutting a little bit of credit for bringing Andrew McCutcheon in. Like as much as I hate on Bob Nutting, I will say this, like, good job getting that done. Because that, like, I don't know if Ben Sherrington just operating alone would have done that.
So, you're thanking him for accepting the phone call is basically what you're thanking him for.
I am, yeah.
Thank you
But
for
hey, he did.
taking Andrew's phone call, asking him for you to reach out to your general manager to sign a deal.
Yes, thank you for doing like the bare minimum to at least provide a little bit of joy by
I'll
having
accept that.
Andrew McCutcheon.
I'll
Yeah,
accept that.
yeah. No,
It
I
is
mean,
bare
like
minimum, but you know what?
he could have said no. Like, you know what, you're not in the plans, Kutch. I'm sorry.
Yeah. He could have just simply said, like, listen, I'm just the owner. I don't even know the players. I've
What
heard
is
of you though, Andrew.
what is
I've heard of you.
baseball?
So, I just let Ben do his thing. He did actually go to Ben and say, "Hey, listen, let's make this happen." So I guess there is some credit there, like you say.
But that's it. That's
Bob
like the only
wanted
credit
it.
he gets. And I'll also give, and this is maybe even we don't even have any Travis Williams. I don't know what we're doing. We're giving credit to people right now. Improvements to PNC Park. Like there have been, like, PNC Park has massively improved in the last 2 or 3 years, which is another A+ move by this team.
Yes.
But let's go back to let's go back to complaining.
Okay. You are worrying me. I understand it's
Hey, new
2024. It's a
year,
whole new year, new
new
year, new
me.
Jim.
Yeah,
But
right. I'm
I
trying to be
didn't
more
know it was that new.
positive. Trying to be more positive about things.
Okay.
You just got to will things into existence. So, if you just have a positive mindset, then
Listen,
things are just going to happen.
if Vinny couldn't will things into existence, it ain't happening. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's
That's not
true.
how things work
Yeah.
around here.
Yeah. All right.
But
So
yeah, so
we
a lot
got
of
our
Bob
Bob
Nutting
Nutting
stuff.
ones. Yeah, I got our Bob Nutting ones out of the way. Not a whole lot of Ben Sherrington ones coming in. I don't know if I saw any. Did you see any Ben Sherrington ones?
No, I don't. I see. Oh yeah, here Ben Charrington and signing an actual free agent,
Okay.
which is
Yeah,
true.
so that kind of makes sense there, yeah.
Yeah. So like my resolution for Ben is more Starbucks, maybe
Yes.
one with a K,
Yeah.
because you need to stay awake. He's kind of sleepy this offseason. It seems like
Mhm.
missing out on things. I don't know. Maybe he
Sleepy
just needs
Ben.
more coffee.
Sleepy Ben Sherrington.
Sleepy Ben. Yes,
We
Sleepy Ben.
should make a new show or make a new segment. Every time like a free agent signs with another player, we just call it like the Sleepy Ben segment.
That works. I like it already. Sleepy Ben. Actually, I gotta make a meme on that or a graphic or something. That's great.
This is a good OG Minlow, Ben Sherrington, give a succinct, straightforward answer to a reporter's question. That's a good resolution there, because Ben Sherrington he is the master of the word salad.
Yes.
He will say, I think he owns the Guinness Book of World Records for saying nothing by using the most amount of words.
There's the show
He's
about nothing, which is Seinfeld.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Ben's the story about nothing. Every time you read a quote by him.
Ben Sherrington is the opposite of that Kevin Malone quote. Like, why say few word when Why say
Yes.
more word when few word do trick, right?
Right.
Sherrington's the exact opposite, where he's going to use as many words as possible to say absolutely nothing.
And that quote by Kevin was way more profound. There was more in that.
Yeah,
Than
that's
anything Ben
more
ever said.
profound than anything Ben Sherrington's ever said.
Yes. So there you go. So not even just signing players, but
yeah,
giving some type of info, speaking better.
Just like he's just the master of GM speak.
Yes. Give us something, man.
He needs to teach a class. Like new GMs that are coming into the business, like Ben Sherrington's going to teach your class about how to talk and say nothing.
That's genius, because that's also like you could sell that.
Oh yeah, that's a skill,
and then
like,
you could make money and be able to utilize and reinvest it into the Pittsburgh Pirates. Bob Nutting and Ben Sherrington have a whole entire thing here that they're not recognizing and seeing.
Yeah, GM speak 101.
Yes, we have a way for the Pirates to make money here. Get on that, Bob. There's a new resolution. Create a GM class. Kick it off. Use Ben.
What else we got? Where do you want to go next? So we got the front office out of the way.
There was, I'll just say this. There was a lot of ONeal Cruz, a lot of Jack Sawinski's, which I guess I could imagine. Yeah. One did stay out to me, though. It was Endy. It was Endy. Learn to lay on the beach in the offseason. Like, Endy, honestly, just chill. You work too hard. You like baseball too much. Just chill.
Yeah, he needs to just needs to relax for a little bit. Right. But also at the same time, like I kind of like how he's like super high strung and stuff. But who knows? Maybe that led to his injury. I don't know.
I get it, but yeah, like maybe if you just laying on a beach, you wouldn't have Tommy John right now.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of really nice beaches in the Dominican Republic.
Yeah. So like read a
gorgeous
book.
Beaches. Yeah.
Just lay on a beach.
Yep. No, I'm with you there.
ONeal Cruz search. Dude, occupy your time doing that.
Endy Rodriguez like joins the neighborhood watch. Going out there, finding fugitive Wander Franco. Oh man. Yeah, but like you mentioned, a lot of ONeal Cruz ones here too. We've got JT Pelly, ONeal Cruz, learn how to slide. Mike L, ONeal Cruz, learn to slide better. What else we got here anymore?
Captain Jack, ONeal Cruz, stay healthy.
ONeal Cruz, stay healthy. Brody, ONeal Cruz, not listen to the third base coach. Yeah, so we've got a lot of like ONeal Cruz, stay healthy, learn how to run, that sort of stuff. We even have an ONeal Cruz, learn how to play outfield. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that one. Yeah.
Not yet, at least.
No. You mentioned Swinsky too. Where we got some good Swinsky ones.
There was one, just drink more rum. I don't know. Maybe that'll help. But
that's not Jack Swinsky. That's Captain Jack Sparrow. Harley says Captain Jack Sparrow. Drink more rum.
Yeah, my bad.
That's an actual pirate. Well, not a real pirate. It's like a Disney pirate.
Well, let's go that route, because this actually I thought was
we did get some pirates. Yeah.
So there was that. And then there's, of course, Chris Miller, the captain of the Renegades. Obviously, he says, Blackbeard, stop going to North Carolina.
Yes. Yeah.
Which obviously was like on purpose, right? But there was one where I think that they don't know what we are or who we are, because they don't follow us either. But we got a comment, Captain Jack Sparrow decluttered the pirate ship. And it's like this random account that they're not following anyone that we follow. Like, I don't even know how they got us, but there's nothing on their account about baseball or pirates.
Maybe they're just a pirate. Yeah, maybe they're just a pirate enthusiast.
Yeah, I think they actually were like they wanted to give some actual pirates resolutions, and they did.
That's pretty good. Here's some Jack Swinsky ones. Hayes on base says Jack Swinsky swing.
Yes, that's it.
OG Menlo, there you go. Hit baseballs in the bottom half of the zone. DJ 80, Jack Swinsky, make contact. Kenny, this is a good one.
Yes.
So Kenny says Jack Swinsky, acquire better fans than Shappy. If you don't know Shappy, he's a Jack Swinsky enthusiast. He's in the Discord. P.S. Join the Discord, everybody. But all he does, he loves Jack Swinsky.
Easily the biggest fan that I know.
He is. I don't know how. I don't think he has a Jack Swinsky jersey yet. I feel like that's how can you gotta get a Jack Swinsky jersey if you're gonna be that big of a fan.
He's afraid Jack's just too good that they're gonna trade him.
That could be it.
Yeah.
Here's another one that's kind of Jack Swinsky related. And it's Buckles. Any pirate that will have an at bat swing at a pitch 1 inch off the plate. I think that was a lot of people frustrations last year is they were like so good at laying off pitches out of the zone that it hurt them because like a pitch 1 inch off the plate is going to get called a strike quite often. And they would just let those pitches go. They refused to swing at those pitches. And it got them rung up quite a few times. So that's a good one. I like that one.
I like this one too. Kyle Steiner. He goes, Jack Swinsky, refuse to live in fear of people who do things using their left hand.
Isn't there a fear of left-handed people? Like there's actually that's like a real thing.
Phobia? You know what? There probably is.
Fear of left-handers. Sinistrophobia.
There it is.
So it's a real thing.
Fear
I don't understand
people.
I'm not entirely sure how this works. Like, I don't know how you can be afraid of left-handed people. Yeah, this is kind of interesting. So if you have sinistrophobia, you suffer from an irrational fear of an object located to the left of a body. You may also refuse to use your left hand or touch another person's left hand.
This is crazy to me. According to National Institute of Mental Health, it is estimated that 12.5% of American adults will experience a specific phobia at some point in their lives.
So that I get. I feel like, that's what 1 out of 8 people are scared of something.
So
that makes sense.
Does Jack maybe have sinistrophobia?
I don't know if he has
that maybe the problem
because
that may be the reason he can't hit lefties. Is he has a legit fear and phobia of left-handed pitchers?
No, so I'm gonna answer this with like a real question. I don't think it has anything to do with that. I think it has more to do with just he's left-handed and it's more difficult.
Okay.
I don't think he has a fear. I don't think he has a fear of left-handed people. I would like to meet somebody with a fear of left-handed people though, because I would like to just pick their brain. I want to learn more about this.
Raise your right hand.
Me?
Yeah. Okay. I just want to make sure you weren't mirrored on here because they won't come on the show. No. Make sure the camera's not mirrored in that episode either.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so that's interesting. I knew that there was something like that out there that exists, but the fact that it's a real thing, kind of crazy.
True.
I want to meet somebody who has that. Just pick their brain.
So I just want to point out something in the chat here as well. Dave White says he makes goals, not resolutions, which, by the way, good use of verbiage. I like that, right? Because resolutions, they don't happen. You make a goal, you're more inclined to stick to it. But one of his goals is to watch each one of all's podcasts in 2024. He has a goal to watch every single one of our podcasts. It's not bad enough that he's a Pirates fan. He probably watches almost every Pirates game, but he has a goal to watch every one of our podcasts. Dave, why do you hate yourself this much?
That's true. That's just torturing yourself.
There's no need for that.
Yeah.
Go hang out with Andy. Get a book. Go lay on a beach. Do something else. Don't watch every one of our podcasts.
No, appreciate your support there, Dave.
As always.
Let's see what else we got here. A lot of ONeal Cruz. Here's Henry Davis layoff sliders. That's from Nick Camuso. There's another Henry Davis one in here too somewhere. Maybe that was it. Maybe that was it for Henry Davis.
Not. Definitely some Rowdy Telez's.
Rowdy Telez, Jamie, who was on our Buck and Around episode a couple weeks ago. If you haven't watched, lay off the hamburgers. That's a good. That's a good goal too. I mean, I think you can have. You just got to have a. You can still eat hamburgers. You just got to have a healthy amount of them. Like, can't overindulge.
Right.
Jolly Roger report. Big fan of the show. Rowdy Telez and Martin Perez time travel back to 2022. If Telez and Perez both put up 2022 like seasons, that'll be pretty awesome.
I agree.
I don't know what you're doing with your
I don't know why I'm frozen
there. Yeah,
I have no idea why I'm frozen.
It's just that Florida internet, probably.
But you can hear me, right?
I can hear you, but you're frozen in one spot.
Frozen. I don't know why. Hopefully it comes back. But anyways, hey, Rowdy Telez, Chris Gates' client, maybe.
That's true. Telez maybe could benefit from Chris Gates.
There you go.
Because you can still have
North Shore 9 Rowdy, get you a little discount. Because I know you didn't sign for too much money, so you got to watch those coins a little bit.
Here's a good one in the comments. OG Minlow, Joshua Palacios, pretend every at bat has the game on the line because he is insane. Like high leverage situations, Josh Palacios. I don't know if I want anybody else up there. Like he is the guy that I want up in a late game situation. Just super quick here. Last year, Joshua Palacios hit 323. I don't know what's going on with your camera, Donardo.
I'm changing it.
He hit 323. He slugged 613. He had a weighted runs created plus of 159 in high leverage situations. The dude was insane. So, if Joshua Palacios can just approach every single at bat like the game is on the line, he's basically prime Juan Soto.
I'm gonna take it a step further. He's basically prime Barry Bonds.
Yeah, he's insane.
He's prime Barry Bonds. They're gonna just go walking with bases loaded at some point.
Yeah. Like I'll face Brian Reynolds instead of Joshua Palacios with the game on the line.
For sure.
Oh, what else we got? Anything else you want to highlight? The Confluence says Nick Gonzalez spray the ball like when you got called up. I think that was our only Nick Gonzalez one.
Oh, right.
Ooh, Bob Nutting Disliker. That's his name. He says, Derek Shelton, act like you care about your players and back them up.
That's a good one.
I will say this. Yeah, there are a lot of times where Bob Nutting, where Derek Shelton is just in the dugout, and like I need him to get ejected more. Show some fire. Like you don't need to get on like David Bell's level because I think he's just annoyingly upset and angry all the time.
Right.
Aaron Boone, maybe another one. Like you don't have to get on that kind of level, but like show some life every now and then.
And we talked, like he's
a well-liked manager.
He's not a
like
good in-game manager.
Yeah, the players like him.
Yes.
Yeah, so
just take it one more step. Like have their backs a lot more.
Yeah. I'm not saying you got to get ejected like once a week. But like there's some times where like a situation calls for you to get ejected.
Ryan says, Priester, prays to not leave grapefruits over the plate. That would be really, really good, especially since the Pirates don't seem too interested on acquiring starting pitchers that are going to be good. Yeah. So if Quinn Priester could just like do that, that would help a lot.
I would say if Quinn Priester, like I said, if we're using goals and not resolutions, like develop a fastball that doesn't get crushed. Like if he can get that down, like if he can improve his fastball, just quality, he can be a good pitcher because his secondary stuff is
Mhm.
is good. Like he's got really good secondary stuff. It's just that fastball's a big, big problem. So yeah, if he can figure out a way to just make that fastball a little bit better, that would be good.
Right.
Brody here in the comments, Paul Skeens, don't listen to any coaches. Just yeah,
Just do what
don't
you
let
do.
anybody pollute your mind with. Next thing you know, Paul Skeens will be a sinker baller who's looking to generate soft contact. He'll be, 6
He'll be throwing
strikeouts per 9
91,
innings. Yeah.
92.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
All
Yeah, I
right.
think
Well,
the
I think
last one I
that's
have here is
okay.
Hayes to hit when the season is still relevant and in reach. That would also be good too. Let's not do it
Yeah.
starting in August.
Yeah. Man, if
Yeah.
all these come true, like if Perez and Tellez are their 2022 selves, if Hayes can hit all year, if Swinsky can hit lefties, if
And just swing.
Palacios can just like be Barry Bonds all the time instead of just in the 8th and 9th innings, then this team's
Right.
going to be super dangerous.
I can see what Ben's cooking now.
Yeah.
I see the vision.
Yeah, that's right.
He
That's
just
actually
simply said, we're going to have goals and not resolutions.
Yeah.
That's
That's
the
what he
Pirates'
said.
plan.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Keep cooking. Keep cooking.
There
Ben.
it is. Oh God. Did you have any, Jim? Any goals or resolutions you want to share?
For the Pirates or just in general?
Either.
Ooh. In general, I do want to just like, I feel like Twitter especially can be like a super negative place, and it's easy to fall into that trap. And so like my goal for next year is just to not be so mean to people on Twitter. I want to be nicer to people. Because it's super easy to be mean to people on Twitter, especially if they don't have a name or a face. And it's just like a bunch of letters and numbers. I'm just going to ignore those people. I'm not going to respond. You love responding to like Bob 678
I was going to say,
42378.
should
Like your
that be
favorite thing to do. It's like your
my
favorite
goal
pastime.
is to stop. I mean, even the Discord
Yeah.
yesterday making fun of me because someone like mentioned what their Twitter name was, and it was like some random, I forget what it was, something, but it was like 2 words combined, like Joe.
Oh, it's Brody.
6934.
Brody's Twitter handle is bro something.
Oh, is that Brody's?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Bro 92.
I've been
92.
seen. They know me. I will go to battle with a guy who has like 4 followers. The most generic name.
Yeah.
If I feel like I need to get something off my chest. Yeah. No, I guess I have one more resolution or goal.
Okay.
It's for Todd Tomzik. He when I was growing up, my parents told me to eat my vegetables. That would make me very strong and healthy. He needs to make sure his players start eating their vegetables. Because we need the Pirates to be strong and healthy this year and no more injuries.
Yeah.
Can't be injured.
That's a good one right there. I also have a feeling that you didn't eat your vegetables.
I had a cucumber last night, sir.
A whole cucumber?
It was one of the mini ones.
Like the little tiny ones?
It was like
that doesn't count.
Big.
That doesn't count.
Sure it does. It's a cucumber. It's a vegetable. It tasted very good in the ranch.
Oh, so you once you put ranch on the vegetables, that like
it's a vegetable.
It's like no longer a vegetable at that point.
Also has zucchini bread.
It's once you put a vegetable in ranch, like it's candy at that point.
It's a vegetable.
I guess.
I'm very strong and healthy, Jim.
All right. That's all I got.
Let's get out of here then.
Yeah, let's do that.
What a disaster of 2024.
Here we go.
Before we get what do we have going this?
Shannon's gonna say Jack with 30 cannonballs. That'd be a good goal.
I'll take that.
I'll take that too.
Just hoping also the batting averages is above 200.
If Swinsky can hit like 220 with 30 bombs and do it like over and like do it like consistently and not just like hit 20 in 1 month and then spread the other 10 out over the other 4 or 5 months.
You're asking for a lot now.
Yeah, I am. That's true. Maybe both
We
do
just
it both
wanted
at
one
home and away, day games, night games, lefties, righties. Just
what's the new split going to be for Jack Sawinski this year? That's what I want to know. This isn't a goal resolution, but I want to know what 2024 Jack Sawinski's ridiculous split's going to be. That's like unheard of.
I feel like we've had the home and away.
Yeah.
We've had. I mean, last year I guess technically was just.
It wasn't splits. It was just weird.
It was just like month to month type of deal, right? Maybe like a day game, night game situation, or like a day of the week. Like maybe he's just the best Wednesday hitter of all time.
Is that what it's going to be?
Maybe
it's going to be a uniform thing, isn't it?
Like yeah, when we're in the black uniforms, he goes off. When we're wearing
that's
the whites,
what it's going to be. We're gonna have to keep track of Jack's splits per uniform this year.
We'll just track it all. We'll have a spreadsheet.
And I know just the guy.
Ooh, yeah, we can get. Yeah, ooh, yeah, we can. We'll track something there.
Something up our sleeve here.
It's a tease right there.
Yeah. Anyways, all right. Is that everything?
That's everything. Let's get out.
Let's get out of here then. As always, appreciate you for watching. We'll see you guys later. We'll be back WNS9 this week with Jason Mackey probably then, right?
Yeah, Jason Mackey this week. And must watch episode. We'll ask him all those questions that you have, like why what did you mean when you said all this stuff, and what are you hearing? So so if you're interested in hearing about what Jason Mackey has been putting out there, we'll be sure to talk about that kind of stuff this week.
For sure.
Yep.
So with that said, let's get out of here. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
See you all.
Hey, you all. Thank you for watching. I know we try to provide the most entertaining content that we can, and we'd love to spread it to as many people as possible. So I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but if you could take the 5 seconds to like this video and subscribe to the page, it helps out so much more than you know. Thank you, and let's go Bucks.